So, we are starting a very series with a serious note. It doesn't mean that you should have a big face, but if you miss any session, that is your responsibility. We normally don't miss universe. I'm not using that, it's about missing this session, or you do not contemplate and reflect, then you will say this beer guy is teaching just for nothing, it doesn't help me. I will take that blame. It's okay, it's part of it. So we are starting that, yeah, even the previous one, attitude and the behavior topic we covered, but the question comes that how come that attitude in the mind, some people have a good attitude, some people try to hold their attitude, they try to pose their attitude, oh, this is what I am. But ultimately they fall back. Now I have to meet a lot of challenges in my life. Who doesn't want to? Who is not meeting the challenges in the life? You don't have a time even for an hour to attend the session, and those challenges will never come to an end until we die. Make it sure. We don't want to understand it. So when we do not understand, that misunderstanding, again the word miss has come. Misunderstanding is what the ignorance is. Misunderstanding, ignorance means wrong understanding, mistaken identity. Ignorance does not mean that we are illiterate. How dare I can say that you are illiterate? You should. Me is a professor in the university. So, so what we understood in terms of the attitude and the behavior, what is the goal of the life was the first question. This master was very typical. He lived around 500 years ago, and this master has created 431 questions. Bad luck that this book is not translated into English, and I don't dare to translate. He's such a great master. I don't have the ability. I tell you frankly, but I'm picking up the few beginner question and then I will divert. So from today there is a diversion. The first question is, what is the goal of life? I have to think about it, contemplate and reflect. I have to repeat in my mind when I wake up in the morning and I go to the sleep that this is the goal of my life. I can bet you 30 to 40% of your worries, your thinking pattern will change. Second is, what is the common desire for every human or every living being? Leave aside the human being. Every living being. Mosquito sits here. The moment you try to, it flies. They also want a security. They want a food. Why? So there is an inherent urge, there is some intelligence that we are going to explore. What is that intelligence is present in all the living beings that pulls them, that push them to seek peace and happiness. So it means that is the ultimate goal. And the third question, what is the end of the suffering and permanent happiness? This master says it is nirvana. Nirvana, Kaivalya, there are many words. Awakening. Oh, I awakened to my stress. I awakened that my honey is causing me a lot of pain to me. That is not awakening. You are sleeping in ignorance. That is a greater ignorance. Why? Eastern wisdom says no one else is responsible for my stress and suffering. So nirvana. So now you see the sequence. So what is nirvana? Nirvana, master answers self-knowledge. Don't go and start reading, I have a lot of hallucinative experiences which I claim that it's a God vision. No, it has nothing to do with it. Eastern wisdom clarifies it in every text. So we are 100% clear. Oh, I have kundalini awakening, my kundalini is awakened. First understand what is kundalini. So we are not going there. So what is the nirvana? Nirvana means self-knowledge. What is self-knowledge? The next question comes. So there we have to discern what is real self and what is the false self. How? Master says listening and learning these principles from a teacher is the preparation to the journey. I'm covering other questions. I'm not asking those questions. We will take a diversion. So listening and learning in a live session with a teacher, you are ready, you are free to ask a question, remove your doubt. Then you have to repeat listening and learning and doing the practice every day without fail. I have a lot of stress. I didn't find the time to do the practice. That is why you should do it. Are you getting it? No, you don't understand, I have a lot of stress. How can I do the practice? Master says that is why you have to do it, to get out of the stress. So we have hundreds of excuses in our life, and those excuses is known as the tamoguna. I will talk later. I'm just giving you a hint of it. So from here, we will take a little diversion to another text. So we understood ignorance is the cause of this suffering. How I am not clear. So we say this ignorance is misunderstanding. I take something as something other. Mirage water. Sometimes you see that. Now, sometimes you see the clouds are there in the sky and we feel as if the sun is moving. Fact is that cloud is moving. That is what happens in our daily life. That is what happens in mirage water. You approach the mirage water, it disappears. So another meaning of the ignorance is that I have an incomplete knowledge about myself. So here the myself is categorized into two. One is the real self and other is the false. You can say false I. Because I take something for something else. I'm your husband. Don't dare you to speak. That is also a ignorance. Sophie is laughing. John is such a humble guy, I have found him. So you see, we have to remove these misconceptions, notions, wrong notions, incomplete. That is the entire journey of the Eastern wisdom. So that is the ignorance. And the second is the impurities in the mind. Impurities. So we have to understand a little deeper. We'll go into the way our master explains the impurities. Two things are mixed up. Lemon is pure, water is pure. You mix them, it becomes impure. Now go back to the definition of ignorance. I take something as something else. I don't say it is water, I say it is a lemon water. Mixture is there. Still you can extract the lemon from the water by a process. So we can extract the real self from the false self. That is what the impurities means. So two things have got mixed up. I'm a man, I become husband. I'm a wife, No, I'm a woman, I became wife. I'm a man, I became rich. Not your rich, Casey. I become rich. So that rich overpowers through my ego and identity crisis begins, and that's what I suffer. Think. That is what we talk of the impurities in the mind. So we have to understand the impurities with reference to the mind. Mind says, I am upset. Master says, I am plus upset. We are different from upset. But that is the highest quote we reach when we purify the mind, then we can recognize. Again, use the word, I'm using the word recognize, means I should have a cognitive ability. Through the contemplation and reflection, I reach to that cognitive ability where I separate the mixture. So there is another mixture when I say I am the body. So you see, there are a lot of mixtures. I am the body, but I am not the body. I am the mind, I am not the mind. So there are a lot of mixtures. So at the top level, it is ignorance because I claim I am the body, but what got mixed up that causes the impurities. I have to I have to find out if I am really the body or body is simply an instrument. I am the real self. Long list. So don't go outside for understanding the mixture, but you have to find out. I gave you a couple of examples. So think this week you have a time to contemplate and reflect. Am I the body? Oh, that is why my honey loves me. So both are impurities of the mind. You have to understand this. So be careful. If one loves the body, you have to be extra careful. The body is already aging. Who can love the beer guy? That is what I told you, that we are going a little deeper. So here the master says that let us be very clear about what is real, what is false, and what is unreal. What is real, what is false, what is unreal. The science always either talks about the real or the unreal, truth and the untruth. We have categorized into three. That every perception, every knowledge, either it is real, unreal, or false. Note it down, remember, and keep it in your head. Whatever you want to do. There are 6 characteristics of the real self that we want to prove through our cognitive ability, through practice, through understanding, through analysis. And once you prove and validate this is the real self, that process is known as awakening. Mead, you're all right? You're all right, yeah. Okay. So first thing, that the real self is eternal. Just remember this, and then we will follow this journey. The real self is eternal means what? It is not subjected by the time. It is not affected by the time. It is not influenced and dictated by the time. That is we use the word eternal. Second one, real self is the truth. A real self is, you can say, the real or the truth. So what is the truth? Truth is ever present. The knowledge of the truth is ever present. It does not change. It is not subjected by the time and the space. Hmm? Simple example: the water remains the water, whether you visit any continent, any country, any house. Water is made up of H2O. I drank the water in my friend's house that was totally impure. That's why he got diarrhea. No, I'm not talking of that. I'm talking of water, the main constituent of water, does not change. H2O does not change. And it has never changed for the last billions and billions of years. So we use the word that is the truth. Now, what conclusion you get from when I say real self is the eternal and real self is the truth? Well, the truth is present everywhere, so real self is all pervading. How can you say that I'm the real self and I'm pervading in your house and you are pervading in my house? It's a puzzle. We have to solve it. We are going to from the top and then we go down step by step. That is the third. The real self, if anything that is the truth, it cannot be the doer. Why? Doer means, I'm doing something, I'm speaking, so I'm exhausting my energy. So I have already changed from the moment I start speaking and now. I exhausted my energy, so I'm changed. So the master, do you see that how the masters have thought about it? So if the first three are true, then it cannot be the doer. And that doer is the ego and the false I in ourselves. We have to understand that clearly. John will say, I have done, I have been earning so much of money for the last so many years in the business. How can you say that I'm a doer? I'm not a doer. I'm not an experiencer. Hold on. Remember this. We will pick up each and every aspect. This is the fourth characteristics of the real self. Fifth one. It cannot be objectified. What it means? It cannot be an object of my knowledge. It cannot be an object of my perception. Why? I am an object of your knowledge through the sense organ in the mind. And if the real self is the object of perception, then it is it is lower than the sense organ. It has no value at all. Stop making a journey to the east and west. It has no value. Stop doing meditation. I see the mouse. How? Sense organ. Tell me, is the mouse greater than the sense organ, or the sense organ, the knower of the mouse, is greater than always the known object? Are you getting it? Say yes, even if you don't get it, no problem. I'm going to repeat it. It cannot be the object of perception. So those people who say I have seen the God, they are craziest people in my profession. I also belong to one craziness, but they are more crazy. Oh, I have seen blue light. Why the talking blue light? Why don't you see the blue light with eyes open? Why you have to see the blue light in your meditation? No, those vision comes. They are indications, but that is not the last word. Because why? Because that blue light is an object of my mind. That is why it cannot be the real self. That's why I told you it's a serious journey. And the sixth characteristic, it does not undergo the six modifications, six changes. Every object in this world, directly or indirectly, undergoes the six modifications. More than, just you say the 65 years exactly years ago, before 65 years ago, on this date, I was in the womb of the mother. So it means I existed. Before that, I did not exist. That is the first change. Then I was born. Second change. Third change, I grow. Fourth change, third change. Yeah? Fourth change is modification. Huh? Modification. So I grow vertically and we modify horizontally. We increase our belly. That is not the part of the growth. I have also a little belly, so don't worry if you have it. So, and then decaying process. Fifth. And the last one, what is the name? Death. Real self has nothing to do with these six changes. So once you reach to that state of awareness and experience, you discover, you realize that real self. That is briefly the journey of the Eastern West, where we were understanding that what is real, what is false, and what is unreal. So I have defined what is real. You need not to blindly believe these six characteristics. You have to continue the journey until you reach to that state where you declare, yes, I am the real self, and I have these six characteristics. See the logical interpretation of the entire journey. Now come to the false. No, come to the unreal. Unreal means does not exist. Elephant is flying in the sky, does not exist. Elephant have a horn. Oh, like this, lot of things. So it does not exist. It is not any object at all. And the real and false existed between the real and unreal. It appears as a real, but it is non-existent. Filter out everything that is non-existence. You have found your real self. No one can make you stressful. Bring an end to that is an end to suffering. Where is the problem? What appears real, one part. I told you, false exists in between real and the unreal. So what appears real mirrors water, but it is non-existent. One minute of meditation, instant mindfulness, focus on the breath. It doesn't work that way. How many people are awakened by doing 1 minute and 5 minutes of instant meditation? Now, after all, it helps. Many things helps. Pills helps. Methadone, I was looking at Discovery Channel. That also helps. LSD helps. Don't give a wrong logic. Because that is why I covered the 5 questions. Where is the self-knowledge? I know who am I. Who am I is the real self, followed by these 6 characteristics. Unreal does not exist. And false exists, appears to exist, but it does not. Anything that undergoes 6 modifications, they appear to exist, but they do not exist. Look at this guy is going to be 65 this year. Another 10, 15 years. This name in the form will be non-existent. No, don't say that. Even if I don't say that, I have to accept the truth. Don't be so serious. Don't plan that I will never go from this earth planet. Not possible. So we have to understand who goes. The body goes, the mind goes, the real self that is present inside never goes anywhere because it is all pervading. There is no other space to go. It is all pervading, it doesn't go anywhere. Now Sophie has realized there is no way, nothing, nowhere to go. I am that. Yes, we are that consciousness. It is this journey we have to work on step by step. They say how we have understood self-knowledge, then we have understood that what is real, false, and the unreal, and now we have already defined the characteristics of the real self. Once we find we have a cognitive ability to recognize these six characteristics, where so-called in me. So what is the ignorance? I claim what is false as real. So there is a misconception, wrong notion I have. Then I'm the body, I'm the mind, and I'm the long list, I'm rich and I'm poor. So once that recognition, or you can say the cognition, takes place in a deeper state of meditation. In fancy meditation or in the beginning of a meditation, we may have other experiences of the visions and the colors. So we will also try to understand that what this conveys. They convey sometimes the deeper state, sometimes the hallucination. We should not get carried away by any objective experiences that we have, only the subjective. I'm always different from all the experiences. Close your eyes and let us start our journey. Eyes are closed, being comfortable. So pay attention. I will take each and every step to their advanced level. I will use the same steps, but I will take it to a deeper level. So being comfortable, what I do, what I say that, look at the neck joint. Be there. Where? On the neck joint. Feel the sensation, comfort and steadiness. Now, I can still go there. You all are seekers. So look inside. Now understand, what do you mean by looking inside? So the mind says, I know, look inside the neck joint. No. There is no other language to explain. Looking inside means I rise in awareness. I rise in awareness from the neck joint as an object to a non-object space or emptiness. So if you continue the journey, you will discover that I explain being comfortable maybe in 50 different ways. So look at the shoulder joints, be there, feel sensation, comfort and steadiness. Look inside. Now you are clearly understanding what does it mean by looking inside. Looking inside is what? You know that I have already told you. So when you're looking inside, you rise in awareness. I will also explain what is rise in awareness. No worries. Your commitment is required. Look at the entire body from the top, the head to the toes. Be there, feel the sensation. So sensorial awareness is there. And then I say you experience the sensation, comfort and steadiness. That is also a part of the awareness. But deeper then is the rise in awareness when you are aware of the space and emptiness inside. Effect is experience of emptiness. Cause is the rise in awareness. Good. Now being carefree. So recently I just it revealed to me, and then I started using. I said, lane 1, you have thoughts coming and going. Any thought that enters into your mind, you recognize, you cognize. If I say there is a cognition of the thought, feeling and the sensation, they all are unwanted and I recognize them. So lane 1 is the unwanted thoughts and feeling. Clear? Yes, clear. And the lane 2 is the observer. It is in the same mind. That is why I gave a simile. What is the simile? That on a highway having 3 lanes, we have a mental highway having the 3 lanes. Well, lane number 1, unwanted, unwelcome thoughts, they keep coming and going. That is what we know as a mind. But the moment you are an observer, it is an intellect with an I-ness in. Why you are an observer? Observer is always different, separate from what is observed. I can say I see Casey. It doesn't mean that I become Casey. But what happens with the thought? I see the thought is coming and I become the thought. So when you simply are aware as an observer what happens, you jump to the lane 3 and that is the state of the calmness. We will also understand as we proceed further, where is this calmness? Why, how the mind jumps into the lane 3 when we separate. In a common man's language, all our teachers talk about it. They really talk about it. It makes a sense. Where is that sense? Let the thought come, let the thought go. And the meditation teacher's mind is also the thought coming and going. No. So please, please, please do the practice and with an understanding. Now, we'll follow a simple practice, we'll continue, we'll make it deeper. So now see that you look inside the forehead, in the space. Look inside the forehead in the space means what? Rise in awareness, my friend. And pick a point there, pick a point. So what it means, you don't struggle, casually. And then start breathing. Quick and short breath through the rib cage, through the nostrils. Expansion and the contraction of the chest continues. We'll understand why we are doing this breathing. You need not to keep on, continue quick and short breath through both the nostrils into your rib cage. Every time you inhale, the chest expands. Every time you exhale, the rib cage contracts. And stop this, do not think. So I'm introducing one more uh, aspect here. You simply recognize and accept the changes that is happening or any resistance that you have experienced during the breathing. We will understand deeply, we will recognize those experiences. Let us move to the next step. Look at the head and the neck. When I say look at the head and the neck, You move your mind on the skin of the head and the neck, all around, and experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Mind goes to the right arm, sensation. So, same thing, right arm from the shoulder to the fingertips, sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Mind goes to the left arm from the shoulder to the fingertips after the right arm. Experience the sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Look at the middle portion of the body. Allow the mind gently move on the skin of the rib cage, belly, shoulder, blades, and the spine of the back until the waist. Sensation, comfort, sensation, relaxation, and stillness. We will also understand sensation, what? Relaxation is what? And stillness is what? How the stillness can help us to move deeper. Move the mind on the right leg from the right side of the waist to the toes. Sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Mind goes to the left leg from the waist to the toes. Sensation, relaxation, and stillness. The entire body from the top to the toes. Sensation, relaxation, and stillness. It's worth paying attention and understanding when there is a rise in awareness, relaxation, stillness, calmness is the natural result. Means what? In a higher level of awareness, there is always a relaxation, there is always a calmness. Then what it means? When I am in stress and anxiety, the mind lives at the lower level of awareness. One name is given as the ignorance and the impurities. Can you see the ignorance? No. Can you see the impurities? No. But can I feel the impact of it? Yes. Can you see the anger? No. But if you are angry over me, obviously we can see the impact and effect. But just a point I'm making to understand that. To rise in awareness, so it will help you to understand. We start with a three-pointed awareness, and in every journey we increase that pointed awareness to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That process I want to follow on weekly session. So first check and understand and recognize your sensation, comfort and steadiness is there. Yes. Or I can say sensation, relaxation and stillness in the body is there. Mind seems to be looking within or moving within. That is again a rise in awareness. So when I say you see the breath, you look at the breath from within. You are looking at the breath, you don't focus. I never use the word focus. Casually. The way you are aware of the sensation in the body, same way you are aware of the sensation of the breath. So looking at the breath, the first point is what? Moving breath. You don't change. Second point is sensation because of movement, because of the moving breath. And third is no change in the breath. If you say that you do not change the rate and the rhythm of the breath, it is virtually not possible. Only it happens in a very deeper meditative state. So three-pointed awareness today. There is another way to look at it. You can be in a maybe the fourth point of awareness is the sensation, relaxation, stillness in the body that continues. What is happening in this way? Awareness is a common factor whether you feel the sensation, whether you see the moving breath, whether you are attentive of no change in the breath, or whether you experience the sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Awareness of the breath, awareness of the sensation of the breath, awareness of the breath with reference to its quality, awareness of the sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Awareness is common. At the end of the journey means once we reach to that state, we only need an awareness. Not off. All depends on the seeker. Mind may be distracted. So when it is distracted, return the mind to any pointed awareness, moving breath, feeling sensation or sensation, relaxation and stillness, and then return to these four pointed awareness. Don't focus, don't make any effort at all. No effort at all. I'll tell you when to make an effort and what kind of an effort you need to make. mind is sometimes lost, means forgetfulness, means the thoughts hijack. Either the thought hijack the mind or laziness takes over. Both are okay. You remember, you hear my voice, you return to that. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both your palms, place it in your eyes. Open the eyes inside the palms, know your experiences. We'll share our experiences. If you have any question what we discussed today, most welcome to ask. So, how are you, Sophie?
Hello, Girish. I'm good. I had a few events where my body went up like that, and I think at some point I didn't hear anything anymore.
Yeah, kind of a self-absorption. So whenever we have kind of a jerks, make it sure that it's a release of some impressions coming from the mind. So we need not to worry about it. Stay with that. Very good. So how are you, John?
Thank you.
Hey, Girish. I'm fine. I found myself during the meditation thinking about some things about work, but I think I was present most of the time.
Yeah, present most of the time. That is really good. So that's why you feel relaxed and calm. Very good. And how do you meet?
I feel very peaceful,
Good.
and I feel joy,
Very good.
joy coming.
So save all the joy in your room.
What?
Save all the joy in your room.
Okay.
Very good. How are you, Casey?
Okay, well, my right side of my body was trying to take control of my mind, a little itchy, and then tensing, and then that I would bring my awareness back to something other than the right side of my body. So if we're on the left arm or the left leg, or I would go back to that place. It's if I had to say it, it would be involuntary what my right side body was expressing, but I also know that's probably just an excuse, to say that it's involuntary. There's still mind that says, oh, no, I want you to look at the right side body. I until you listen to me, I'm going to make your body more and more uncomfortable. So I'm aware of the mind's busyness. It's not bad. It doesn't want to control me, but it wants to be busy. And sometimes the physical body responds and it's uncomfortable. So I push the mind in a different direction, and that's helpful. But I do have to say it's a little disturbing. It's a little disappointing sometimes for me. I know that's mind stuff too, but it gets a little disappointing when my body won't get out of the way.
Yes, it will happen. That's how I customize the program. What is very important to understand is that a contemplation and reflection, if it is moving in a right direction during the practice of meditation, is a good way. We need not to just try to suppress any feeling, any change, any emotions. Instead, we should contemplate and reflect. So the more contemplation and reflection makes the mind clear. That's really good point. That gave me a good idea to add something. How are you, Anne?
Yeah, it was a very good meditation for me. I really felt it went very deep, and at the end there was no spark of anxiety left.
Yeah.
I felt very calm and peaceful.
Very good. That's really a good experience. Yes. So remember, I'm going to send you these files, and so please, if you have time, we are all busy after all. So if you have time, so you can listen to it again and then contemplate and reflect to bring about